I have 10 startups, representatives of them, presenting 5 minutes each. So I'm gonna present the name and the name of this of the company, and then if you have questions, please reach out after the session because we're gonna change the speakers one after another. And first one is Mr. Robert Strobl, CEO of Digital Samba. So welcome, and stage is yours.
Thank you, Erica. All right. Hello, and thank you for coming. My name is Robert Strobl, and I'm going to wait for my slides to appear. Perfect. I'm here to introduce Digital Samba Embedded API MCP server to you. Maybe, I think, just as a quick intro, we're at a verge of a change of point-and-click interfaces to natural language-driven interfaces. I think it's a really, really exciting time to be in, and of course MCP is going to be a huge part of that. So maybe a first question to the crowd, how many of you know what an MCP server is? Model Context Protocol, okay, maybe 25%, so actually not that many. So I'll try and define it for you. I like to think of it as an instruction set an LLM can load into its context window. And for those of you that don't know what is Digital Samba Embedded, we are a pre-built video conferencing API. So essentially, we allow companies to add video conferencing to their applications in just 2 lines of code. So therefore, Digital Samba Embedded API MCP server is a natural language proxy for calling the API. So probably for you, a lot of you, this is super confusing now. So not to worry, I'll explain it. You see on the left-hand side a little bit of API code. Instead of having, entering that or programming it, you can now actually just say to your LLM, create me a Digital Samba team standard room for 10 people with chat disabled. So remember this prompt. We're going to use it in just a second, and we'll jump straight into a demo. Just in case you want to follow along, take a snapshot of this slide. We basically have instructions on our blog written by Connell Mullen of our team, who has basically programmed all of this. And you're going to need Claude Desktop. You're going to need a Claude Pro subscription in order to be able to handle the context window. And you're going to need Node.js installed on your computer. You're going to need to configure Claude with this little snippet over here. That's how you set up your MCP server, essentially. So it's relatively straightforward. And now to the demo. So if you remember, we had this prompt. I will just paste it from my clipboard, and I've added an extra little piece, which I'm asking it to create a join link for me for myself. I let Claude run this. On the right-hand side, what we see is our API interface, which basically is something that you get when you sign up to a Digital Samba account. You can see on the left-hand side that Claude already knows he has access to the create room method. And it's also using the token generation function, which basically is what the MCP server instructs it to do. So if I now refresh this, we will see that Claude has created a new room for us inside our API. And I can now simply move over here to Robert's join link, copy this, open a new tab, and that's it. We have created a new Digital Samba video conferencing room. That's as easy as it is to join a Digital Samba session with Claude. And you've got the full functionality of Digital Samba's video conferencing ready for you at your fingertips. But that's not all, because we also have a dashboard which allows you to run statistics. Claude is now capable of running these statistics for us. Instead of having to click through this very nice dashboard that you have, you can actually have Claude do this type of query for you. In this case, it's telling me what my most active room is, and in typical LLM fashion, it's super helpful in pulling out all kinds of statistics for me with just natural language. I think this is something that's super exciting. So what's next? This is an MCP that runs on your server. In future, we see that these MCPs are going to be running remotely. So this is already supported by OpenAI and Claude itself as well. So this is what we're going to be introducing. We're going to be introducing web interfaces for B2C natural language interactions. And of course, we're also going to be providing instructions for context engineering. I'm sure you've seen a lot of speeches about this here during this conference. And yeah, so that's it. I'm getting a signal that we're done. If you want to submit your input on GitHub, come by our booth, AS3. We can continue the discussion. We've got demos, we've got discounts, and I hope to see you there. Thank you so much for your interest.
Thank you,